Hey everybody, welcome to the xChange. I'm so excited. I'm just waiting for my husband to come down. He said that he wanted me to get started, so I'm getting started. This is what I'm doing. I'm getting started. So this week we're going to talk about fear and faith because we're at the beginning of the year and we have our goals, we have our resolutions, we have things that we want to do, things that we want to accomplish. So we want to talk today about what are you Dwayne, what are you doing? What you want all this noise? Dwayne, I'm recording. Dwayne, I'm recording. What are you doing? Oh.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
You're making all this noise.
Be quiet. Be quiet. I'm getting ready to go outside.
You going outside?
Yes, I'm going outside.
But you
Be quiet. Just talk softly. I'm going outside.
why are you going outside with your
Because this is my Bible box.
it's your Bible box?
Yes. It warns me when I'm getting near danger and enemies.
What?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Shh, not so loud.
Okay.
Not so loud.
Get out of here.
Yes,
Get
yes.
out of here.
Yes, yes. I got it in my most expensive sneaker box.
Your most expensive
Yes,
sneakers.
my Jordans.
Your Jordans.
Yes, only got one pair.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
got to go outside.
So you got okay.
Yeah. So we're talking about fear and faith, right?
Yes.
Y'all seen that movie?
What movie?
The movie with Sandra Bullock.
The Bird Box.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I got the Bible box.
All right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Shake it.
Shake hey.
We're getting ready for 2019.
2019.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead. You can talk.
I can talk.
Yeah.
But can I talk loud?
No. People get scared around this time.
They get scared.
Yes, they have fear.
They have fear.
Yes, they have fear.
I do a devotional
Mm-hmm.
through YouVersion, the Bible, on from the app on my phone. What?
I'm going out there. I got my sword.
No, he really got a sword, people, but I'm not going to show you.
No.
But fear is in this devotional that I selected for the beginning of the year. For me, it talks about being fearless.
You talk too loud.
And it says, fear is a large bully at the playground. It makes a ton of noise and does little good.
Yes.
It also has an uncanny ability to reappear at unsuspecting times. Even when we try to push away certain fears, they often resurface.
Yeah, usually they do.
They come back.
Because it's a thing of the mind.
It's a thing, yeah.
It's a mind thing.
It is.
Yes, it's a mind thing.
It is.
Yeah.
And so one of the things, and Dwayne, you were saying, the reason why did you want to come on today,
Listen,
looking like the Bird Box?
No, what? The Bible?
The Bible Box. I'm sorry, the Bible Box.
What are you talking about? We can get sued for that one. This is the Bible box. Now, I came here because I'm getting ready to go out into the world.
And do what?
I'm not of this world, but I live in it.
Huh?
Don't start. Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, I'm getting ready to go out there and do some work for the Lord.
All right. And so then the reason why you're doing this, so I guess you're facing some fears right now.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I am. I am facing some of my fears.
And so what are you doing right now that's going to prepare you to move beyond those fears?
Well, one thing I'm finding out, that there's no weapons that formed against me can prosper.
That's right.
So, whenever I feel
You go into your box.
yes, I just go into my box.
Huh?
I don't know if this is the front side or is this the name side?
No, I don't see the name.
There's no name.
Wait.
Well, it does say Bible, doesn't
It's upside down, but it's
Okay.
good. It's
Okay.
good. There you go.
Yes, I go get, when you can't see.
But you can look because you're in a safe place. This is a safe place.
Oh, that's right. I'm still inside.
You still inside. This is a safe place.
I was getting ready to go out. Okay, I was getting ready to go outside. Okay. I can't read without my glasses. Okay, yes. I'm working out some of my fears. There are a lot of things I'm doing. So, I have to do more reading of the word. That's going to help me. It's backwards to you, but it's front ways to me. I'm working on some of my fears and getting rid of them. And one of the things I'm doing is pretty much sometimes I just got to talk to somebody. Having the right dialogue with a friend, somebody you can trust. Now, don't talk to people you can't trust. There's a lot of people, you say certain things to, and they'll put fear in you. Okay, like I heard the situation. Okay, maybe I won't use that. Where somebody can say, "Hey, I want to do such and such and such," and you talk to the wrong person and be like, "Well, if you do that, then you might have to deal with this, and you might have to deal with that thing too, or you might have to deal with this too." And after a while, you're like, "Wait, I just wanted to do this one ththing, but you didn't scare me."
And sometimes we can talk ourselves out because I was talking to somebody at work, and she was saying, "Danielle, I'm starting Weight Watchers. I want to lose weight, and I'm gonna go to the gym." And then she said, "But come back to me in February." She just talked herself out because the fear of failure.
Listen, I even have a friend who wants to do something, and before he even could talk, I say, "Listen, why don't you go and talk to this person, talk to that person?" And before he even got there, he's like, "Yo, no, I got cold feet." You got cold feet? What?
Cold feet. When you have a vision, when there's something you want to do, but that's what fear is. It could either fear can either cause you to run, or it could cause you to run. It could cause you to fight, or it could
give up.
It can cause you to give, or it can paralyze you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It can paralyze you where you don't want to move. You would rather stay where you are.
That's a good one.
As opposed to moving forward.
So what would you rather be? Would you rather be somebody who is paralyzed? Have you ever seen somebody who's paralyzed? Have you ever seen what they go through? How they may not be able to move only a couple of muscles in their body. Have you ever seen that? Is that what you want to be for 2019? Paralyzed?
Because sometimes we can get paralyzed in our situation, paralyzed in a dead-end job, paralyzed, not wanting to move forward with that business idea, paralyzed. We become paralyzed in so many, just in our thinking, and choosing to think negative as opposed to thinking positive. We become paralyzed.
Hello. Fear can stop you from moving forward. You get to a place where you just stop moving forward. And then sometimes it kills your drive. Yeah. You have no desire after that. But like after that certain situation, there's some people who give up right after they go through a certain situation where they just stop. They
give up on everybody.
And they give up
because at one time, I was a business development manager for several years, and one of the things is that you had to get comfortable with rejection. So, and they would say for as many times as you were rejected, you would still. So it was always. So I learned that it was actually a formula. So if I wanted to get a certain amount of yeses, I had to do a certain amount. I had to accept a certain amount of no's. And a lot of times we're not comfortable with no. We're not comfortable with rejection.
It's the same thing in sales. I used to do sales for a hotel, and used to take cold calls and make cold calls. And I got so many no's, hang-ups, no. And then when I got that one, I was excited about that one. Because once I got that one, it drove me to go more. Now, I knew some people that were sitting around me, after a while during the day, they kept saying, I hear so many no's. They were like, "Oh, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not coming back to this job because it's just so depressing." Listen, that one drove me, said, "Look, if I got this one today, I can get me a couple of more today." So what are you going to do? Are you going to let that thing press you and keep you down, or are you going to use that as your power source to move forward and to move forward in your life and go on?
Because we're talking about dreams. We're talking about in 2019, we're going to, see our dreams manifested, fulfilled. And the only way that we can do that, we have to conquer fear. And this is the perfect month for us to do that.
Yes.
It's January. So I do have a couple of. Was
No,
something else
go
you want
ahead.
to say? So
Go to
there
your
was
points.
some couple of things I just wanted to. It's just 5
Cool.
ways to conquer fear, and Dwayne said one of them, and what I said was talk about what you're feeling with someone that you trust.
I didn't
Sometimes
see her notes. I didn't see her notes. Oh. Thank you. Thank you.
Because-
One God, one voice. Ah, thank you.
Sometimes
I'm acting silly right now. Go ahead.
it's good to hear a different perspective.
Correct.
Because sometimes we may look at a situation one way, and by getting that sound counsel, that person can tell us, you know what? Well, maybe you're looking at it all wrong, and it's not actually what you think. And they can actually help you think through what your fears are and help you to, decide what your next step is.
I have a friend, and I'm gonna say her name because I love her, and plus she's good. She's a professional. I have a friend named Michelle Cox. She is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person. Can I tell you that anytime you speak to her, she always has a positive thing to say. Even when people say something that maybe not, she's like, oh no, but if you was to do this and do that, and I'm telling you, I've never heard her speak negative. I never heard her say anything negative, even concerning somebody, because she always sees the good in them. She always, and
So she's a good person to talk to if you have a fear about, because she can help you maybe decide what a different, maybe if you go left, maybe that's not the right way, but if you go right, there is a possibility.
Yes.
So you need that Michelle Cox in your life to help you, when you are afraid.
I'm glad she's my friend. Go ahead.
Me too. And so the second one is visualize the place or visualize what you want to achieve. So because you got to see it first. Because a lot of times we say, oh, I want to have a business, but we don't really visualize it. I mean, I'm talking about visualizing it in detail.
Yeah.
If it's a restaurant, seeing, where's the store located? What is in the restaurant? When you walk in, is it going to be seating? Is it going to be a host? Like, really take the time to think about, what it is that you want, that you're trying to achieve, that end goal. Because if you have that end goal in mind, when the fear and anxiety come up, you have that in your mind to motivate you and to keep you moving forward.
How about, I was the very first show I ever did off Broadway. I was invited to the show. I sat there and watched the show. And while the show was going on, there were a couple of different songs and parts in this show where, particular male singers were singing. And let me tell you, I saw myself singing that song in that show. I said, "Oh man, I can see myself doing that. I could
you
do
never
that,
did it
and I
before.
could write, and I've never done it before." And so after the show was over, I had a friend who invited me, who gave me tickets. He said, "Hey, Dwayne, they're having auditions. Why don't you audition for the show?" I was like, "Nah." He's like, "No, man, audition for this show. You can do this show. It'll be some extra money. It's a Saturday, gig. You don't have to do much after that." So guess what happened? I get up there, I audition for the show, I get in the show, and guess what parts I sang? The very exact. What? Say it softly. I sang and did the parts exactly where I saw myself. I saw myself doing it. But not only did I see myself doing it, but by the time I got into the show, they're writing more songs in for me to do and things like that, till we took the show to a whole nother level. So my going there, the fear that I had fear auditioning for the show. Not that I could not sing, but it was the fact that I've never done, and this is off Broadway. Eventually this show went on Broadway. So my fear was like, yo, I get up here and do
The fear of the unknown.
What? Wait, first of all, I never knew how to do any line dances when it comes down to choreography and dancing. When I got up there, I was a hot mess. When I say hot mess. But by the time I left there, I became the number one lead dancer in particular scene. So, the fear that I had of me doing it, I had to overlook it because I saw myself there.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm not going to ask you for an offering right now, but later on I may. No, I'm only kidding.
Third point, write the vision. Make it plain. Be specific.
Specific.
Specific
Yeah.
about
Be
what
suspicious.
you want to accomplish, what resources you need, and how you will get there.
I'm bad at that. And that's probably something I need to work on for 2019. I'm not good at writing it down. I have her. You know, I think about it. I make it happen in my brain, and she writes it down. But I have to do that for myself. So that's one thing I'll probably work on this year.
Yeah,
but
developing that strategy.
Developing. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm not good at that.
And then along the way, celebrate your small victories. Celebrate your wins, because you have this huge goal, but you know, each step, celebrate that. Enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. And then my last point is focus on others as your motivation. I was reading this story about Stephen Covey, and he said that during one of his sessions, there was a mother there, and he said to her, "Would you walk over a high-wired, what do you call it, a high wire?"
A high wire? You talking about the wire itself?
Like a high wire. Yeah, people walking over
with a pole.
Yeah.
To walk over it.
He said, "Would you walk over a high wire if I asked you to?" And of course, she said no.
No.
Then he said,
"How high was it?"
I don't know. He didn't say how high it was.
Now, if it was like a couple feet off the ground, I would do it. A couple feet off.
Then he said, "If I give you $1 million, would you do it?" And she said, "No." She did. She thought about it, but then she said no.
It must have been high, because I would have said no if it was high.
But then he said, "Imagine that you have your son in your hands, and if you don't go across this high wire, your son would fall and he would die." And she said, "I would absolutely walk over the wire."
Was the good son or the bad son? I'm just asking. Some people might say,
Dwayne, that wasn't his story.
Is it a good son or a bad son?
That wasn't his story. The point is that if you
I think God, I have two good sons, but I was just thinking, was it a good son or son? Some of y'all might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. I'm just worried.
But if it's the good son, you will walk over the wire because you motivate.
All my children,
you're motivated.
All my children, I will walk over the wire. All my children, not the show, but all my children.
Oh God.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all that I have today.
And I just want to say, I walk by faith, not by sight. Sometimes you can get tripped up when you think too hard about that situation. You know, no matter what it looks like, no matter how I feel, I am going to continue on walking by faith. My boy Ty Tribbett, some years ago, they did this joint in the park one time. I walk by faith, not by sight. Say it again, we walk by faith, not by sight. I'll say it again, I walk by faith, not by sight. Say it again, we walk by faith, not by sight. I don't own the rights, but I sang it anyway because Ty Tribbett is my boy, so y'all can't say nothing about that. Listen, we love you. Listen, don't walk in fear.
Don't walk in fear. This is 2019.
Don't walk
in
fear.
The year to achieve your dreams. Don't walk in fear. Walk in faith.
Woo! Living my dream in 2019. Living the dream in 2019. Living the dream in 2019. We walk by faith. Oh, not by sight. Later, guys. We love you.
I love you.
Enjoy.